Hey guys, it's Sheer, and today we're going to make a 75th Ranger Regiment kit in Black Hawk Regiment 5. This video will teach you how to make a Ranger kit true to real life, as close as possible. Through the video, I will not be going over the technical details until the end, and you can skip to here for that information. There are only two sets of clothing in the game that will fit with the multicam on the gear, but that may change in the future. In this video, we will be using the AC Combat Varicam uniform under Apex Precision. For vests and belts, we have a few options to choose from. For vests, we have the CVS, the MPC, and the MPC 2.0. I'll be using the CVS for this video. For belts, we have the operated gun belt and the CBSO profile belt. I'll be using the operated gun belt. Now, before we move on, don't forget to make the gear Varicam. For backpacks, we don't really have many of the backpacks I use in real life, but for the stuff that we can use is the hydration pack, the E2 day pack, the slick pack, or the M9 med pack. Now, this is obviously a med pack, so if you're doing a sort of medic kit, then this is for you. Otherwise, I don't really recommend using it. For plate carriers, we have various options for customization. In this video, I'll be doing a Ranger Rifleman kit. Typically, Ranger Riflemen do not use any radios, so I will not equip one. So the pouches, I recommend doing 4 to 5 5.56 magazine pouches, which can include USGI or ER mag. Then what I do personally is put a GP pouch on the right side. For the top, I'd either keep it slick or add a tourniquet and a sling point. It's up to you, but that's how I would run it. For the belt, we also have a good amount of customization. For the most part, you can do it as you wish, but this is how I would do it. I would put a 5.65 PRL on the far left side up front, and then I would also use a pistol mag pouch. On the left side, I would put a ER mag or 5.56 mag pouch. You could also do a SCAR H or Mark 17 mag pouch here, depending on what gun you're going to use. For the back, I would put a 9022B or some sort of IFAK like medkit, and then a roll-up dump pouch. Dump pouches are pretty common in Ranger kits. And then a bleeder or blow-up pouch, just to fill up that little empty space right there. Obviously, on the right side, I'm going to put a holster. I'd recommend doing the 6390 RDS holster. Don't forget to unequip the leg strap holster right here. For the helmet, we only really have one option here, and customization will be pretty limited. We'll be using the Maritime Ballistic, and we'll make it tan. And as per Ranger SOPs, they usually always run a helmet cover. Now, we don't have many options, and it doesn't really look good, but if you want to be accurate, this is how it's just going to be. Now, if you're going to do nighttime when you have your NVGs, then put a battery pack, because you need to power your NVG somehow, right? Now, Rangers are always issued some sort of ear protection, and they are issued Peltor contacts or OpsCore amps, but we only have contacts, so that's what we'll be using for this video. And then some sort of eye protection. Typically, they will be wearing ballistic glasses, so that's just what I'm going to run with. You can equip a flashlight if you want. I'm not going to do it because I like the helmet looking clean. And an IR strobe isn't really given to, or at least worn by Ranger Riflemen very commonly. Again, more details at the end for the technical stuff. So before we move on to actual weapon stuff, I do want to go over universal attachments, basically stuff that can be used across all weapons. So first, let's start with optics. For optics, we have 5 to choose from: the 1x T2 N660, the 1x SU231A PEC, the 1x T2 Rise, the 4x LDS, and the 1 6x by 24mm Raider. Now, if you do want to equip the SU231A PEC, then make it tan, because that's how it's issued in real life. The 4x LDS is a stand-in for the Spectre DR in real life, but we do not have them in the game, so the LDS will have to do for now. For lasers, they are issued the LA5B and the NGOL in real life, but we have neither in the game, so the PEC 15 will have to do. Don't forget to make it tan, because again, that is how it's issued in real life. For flashlights, we have 2 options to choose from. We have the WMX200 and the M600U. Now, unfortunately, the WMX200 is locked behind a quest. You have to do a certain amount of quests from Captain Graham, who can be found at the docks of Secreta. If you can't find him, he's behind Major Quill, the British guy. So if you are going to equip a flashlight, again, make it tan. That's how it's issued. Okay, so I actually forgot to mention this earlier. So I skipped on pressure pads by accident, so My mistake. So for pressure pads, we can use the RMT400A8 or the SRD. You can also use the SR, not really common though. For the RMT400A8, then if you're going to equip that, then make that tan. It doesn't really matter for the other two pressure pads. Okay, now that we have the universal attachments out of the way, let's start with the M4. So first for the stocks, you can choose any of these three. Personally, I would use the SAR because I just think that looks the best. So for mags, you can use the USGI 30 times, the EAR mag 30 times, or the EAR mag 40 times for first contact mag. USG 40 times can be used, but it's not exactly a common mag in real life. I'm just going to go with the USGI 30 times. Now for handguard, you can use the M4 RAS or the RIS-2. The RIS-2 isn't personally my favorite because it's not properly proportioned with the barrel, so I would just go with the M4 RAS. For muzzle, we can use the A1, the FH556RC for the flash hiders, and then for suppressors, we can use the SOCOM 556RC and the QDSS NT4. If you're going to use the SOCOM 556RC, then you make it tan, because again, that's how it's issued in real life. I'm going to go with the A1. And this is how I would run an M4A1. It's not really true to how a Ranger M4A1 looks in real life, but this is just how I'm going to run it. This is how I think it looks the best. Again, M4 RAS over the RIS-2. Then you got the flashlight, the laser, the optic, and the pressure pad and a grip. Basically the same as the M4A1. Again, both of the stocks, same 3 mags, all the same attachment stuff and optics obviously. And the only really difference is if you want to have like a URGI kind of look, then you can use a Mark 8 handguard. It's not really the actual handguard that they use in real life, but it's as close as you're gonna get for now. And then just set that up however you wish. So this is how I would set up. Pretty aesthetically similar to the M4A1. Alright, so the Mark 17, otherwise known as the Scar H, 7.62 rifle, blah blah blah. So for the muzzle, I would use the flash hider. I'm not entirely sure what suppressor they use in real life in conjunction with this, but my guess is a SOCOM 7.62 flash hider. And the closest we have in game is a SOCOM 338, so use it to your own discretion, because the SOCOM 338 is about 2 inches longer than a SOCOM 7.62 in real life. And again, same attachment stuff. Let's just skip. Set up a Scar H. This is just how I like how it looks. Oh, yep. And don't forget a pressure pad right here. Okay, there we go. So this is how I would run the setup personally. It's 5.56 conversion for the Mark 17 or Scar H in real life, but we can't really do that in game. So a Scar L will have to do for now. In reference photos I have seen, they mostly use shorter barrels like this, so the 10-inch barrel. You're definitely going to sacrifice a lot of stats for looks, but if you want to be accurate, then this is how, unfortunately, you will have to run it. As for the muzzle, the FH556RC is the closest you're going to get to what they use. And suppressor, same deal, SOCOM 556RC. Make it tan, of course. We tend to use a pretty stock US Army M4A1. So M110 suppressor, OEM stock, OEM 20 times mag, and then the default barrel length, default handguard, and the 3.510 by 40mm Mark IV. This is the scope they use in real life. On the M110, don't forget to make it tan, by the way. All I did was put a Integrip, which is a grip bipod hybrid. Since we don't really have bipods in the game, that's just kind of how it is. And then if you want to, then you can go ahead and slap a PEC 15 on the side or the top, whatever you'd like. But yeah, this is how I'd personally run a 75th M110. Alright, for the sniper, it seems they use the M2010. For the scope, you have the 6.5 times by 220 by 50mm Mark IV ERT M5A2. Do take note that this is a separate scope from the other Mark IV. The other Mark IV is designed specifically for the M110, and this Mark IV is designed for the M2010. For suppressor on the muzzle, it seems they use the SOCOM 338 just in tan. It doesn't really look like they use much else. And keep basically everything else stock. I don't think they use extended mags or anything. And what I did was just slap a PEC 15 on the side. And of course, I made that tan. I do believe they were issued M17s, but it's not very common anymore. They might have thrown them out. I have no clue. But the most common issued pistol is the Glock 19 under the designation Mark 27. Now there are several generations of it, but I'm going to recreate the mod 2. So for the pistol light, I have the X300 VA. It always has some sort of pistol light on it, and it's usually Surefire or something in a similar shape to this. So I just recommend putting the X300 VA on it. And then for the most part, it has some sort of muzzle device on it, and the closest in the game is a carry count micro, so I'm just going to equip that. So just some technical stuff regarding the loadout. Radios, those aren't issued to regular squad members, only leadership positions or communication positions. So for example, like a team leader or squad leader, or maybe like a platoon leader or an RTO, like the main comm guys of the platoon. So yeah, they're not really issued to regular riflemen. So if you're gonna do like a breacher or something, then that's not really required or even necessary at all. For IR strobes, it's basically the same thing. They're not really issued to, well, they might be issued to everybody. I'm not really sure on the specifics of that, but in general, they're only really worn by the leadership guys. So team leaders, squad leaders, platoon leaders, you get the deal. So this is a really nitpicky detail, but this is about an optic. So the 1.6x24mm Raider. This optic isn't really seen a lot on like Block 1 or Block 2 guns, mostly seen on URGIs or guns of that sort, as you can see in the image here. Block 2s generally have LCANs or EOTechs or aim points. And then another thing is about pressure pads. Again, this is a really nitpicky detail, but pressure pads, specifically the RMT 400A8. This pressure pad is issued specifically with the WMX 200 light or the SU233 PBS. They're only issued with in real life in sight lights or in game as they're called in vision. So if you're going to use an M600U, which is a Surefire light, then use the SRD pressure pad, which in real life is a Surefire light. Just a little detail thing. It's not really a big deal, but you know, if you just want that tiny little detail, then there's that. So yeah, that's basically it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.